Hi, I'm Steve Davidson. I'm the IT Director with Mesa Systems. Mesa Systems is a transportation company. We're a United Van Line mover on one portion of our company, and we're also a logistics side where we help companies move stores from one mall to another. So phishing emails are getting more sophisticated coming into our system, and they still slip through our spam filters and get to the end users' mailboxes. The ThreatTest system gives us that last self-defense for that user to be able to submit that email to figure out if it is actually a phishing email or if it's a legitimate invoice from a company trying to send it to us. So some of the emails coming into our system would have an attachment on it. The attachment would be questionable. The phishing attack can be very sophisticated that it looks like it's a legitimate email. So we have to take this attachment and move it off network. It could take us an hour just to spin up a machine that's off network, copy the file over, and investigate that file. So at Mesa Systems, we have a yearly email training that we're doing that goes through on what to look for, what red flags you may see inside that email. And then after the email training, we do some mock drills where we'll send phishing attacks into our users. And if the user ends up clicking on those links, and they do it a couple times throughout our test, we'll make them go through the security training again. So it causes a two-level problem. The first problem is the users get nervous and don't want to click on emails. And so they may miss something that's actually legitimate because they're unsure because they don't want to have to take the training again. So the second issue is that they would send the IT department every email they get asking, is this a legitimate email or not? Since implementing the ThreatTest system, this allows the users to get a direct response. They don't have to be shy with contacting the IT department, and they don't have to worry about if that email is legitimate or not because they'll get a direct answer within a few minutes. The ThreatTest reporting system can either be emailed to me on a nightly basis, or I can go out to the portal and pull the reports. By looking at the reports, I can see what emails were submitted to the ThreatTest system over the last X days. This allows me to know who's being attacked in our system and helps us make sure that our security model is keeping us more protected from those phishing attacks. Prior to the implementation of ThreatTest, our users had a hard time asking the IT department whether or not that email is valid. They didn't want to feel stupid. They didn't want to feel like they didn't know what they were doing. Even though we've done the email security training, we've explained to them, how to look at these emails, they didn't feel comfortable contacting the IT department, so sometimes they would just open them or they would delete them. So using the ThreatTest system has saved our IT department hours. It is also giving the efficiency to the users to be able to do their job quicker. When the email comes in and they submit it to our IT department prior to ThreatTest, it could take us hours to get back to them. By them being able to submit it to the ThreatTest system, they get their answer within a few minutes. This allows them to keep doing their job and keep working on their accounts without having to take that pause on that specific email. My advice for other organizations is to train your users on how to look at those emails, but give them a tool like ThreatTest to be able to submit those questionable items. You can give them all the training you want, but they're never going to really 100% know. And by using ThreatTest, that'll allow them to get that last step to figure out if it's a good email or not.